This is Converging Media Chapter 1, Part 2. We're going to go forward. We're on attitudes and values. Talks about the fact that a sense of trust has become crucial in the media. Companies want to manage their online reputations. If you think that that's not the truth, put something online about a company, see how quickly they respond and ask you to take it down or see what they can do to make it right. There are, unfortunately, disinformation campaigns where people write things that are just absolutely untrue, whether it's business-wise or political or whatever it may be, just to hurt someone else or just to have their way in terms of an argument. It talks about, going forward, it talks about the fact that there's a lot of behavioral targeting. It also talks about alone time. We're on this media so much, sometimes people don't have that sense of alone time that they actually need. It can actually be better for your mental health to put your emotional health, just put your telephone aside for a while and just relax and have some alone time. Talks about mass communication in the digital age. Of course, interpersonal communication has changed. There's interpersonal communication one-on-one with each other, but we also have the same thing over, for instance, Facebook messaging or Zoom conferencing or just one-on-one, you know, the FaceTime on the iPhones and things along that line. Mass communication refers to any technological means of communication between a large number of peoples that can be distributed widely over space or time. And of course, now it's so prevalent in our society. It's literally everywhere. There's of course synchronous media where you have to be. It's a live show. You have to be, watch it live if you want to see it live, or maybe you have to be there. If it's not going to be recorded, maybe you have to be at the concert, be at the football game, whatever it may be. Then there's asynchronous media where it's there and it can be looked at or used at any time that you want to. Now, used to that sense of live or synchronous media and the live television and live events, used to that was much more true in that once something aired, it was just gone. Now, with on demand and all these other things, almost every network has the on demand. Because of that, there's more of the sense that, okay, maybe I can't watch it right now, but I know I'll come back here on the SEC network or some other network or record it on my DVR and I can watch it when I want to. Time shifting is just a huge thing that's happening right now. Talks about, looking forward to the functions of mass media, talks about surveillance and then news. They look around, see what's happening in the world, report it back to us. Correlation is how we interpret events, and the media does that for us in issues and describes certain meanings to certain events and certain issues. And that's problematic. There's cultural transmission. We transmit our culture from one generation to another and or from one group in society to another. Entertainment are the big functions of mass communication. And of course, the book leaves this out very conveniently, but money. Money is a big function of mass communication. There are two different transmission models. There's the Shannon and Weaver mathematical model, very simple. The information source sends out through a transmitter a message. It goes to a receiver at a destination. Very simple. The Schramm-Osgood model at the bottom of page 29, and you're looking at the book. It's rather interesting because it shows the messages going back and forth between them at the same time. I'm sending a message, you're sending a message. Maybe you're watching this and you're sending me a message saying, hey, I have a question about this chapter. Talks about critical theories and cultural studies. Critical theory is broadly influenced by the notions of an ideology, exploitation, capitalism, and the economy, and understanding and eventually transforming society. Cultural studies is a framework for studying communication that rejects the scientific approach and looks at creating, maintaining how culture creates and maintains social relationships and systems of power. There are hegemonic, as some postmodernist critical theorists would tell you, hegemonic power structures that are there, and they're trying to maintain their power and at the same time help you to be a part of their system and think of things the way they want you to think of things. Television and the future of convergence. What's next? Well, that's a good question. Who knows? There are television has been blamed for everything from a decline in young people reading to a rise in societal violence, but not just television, going all the way back to movies and music. There's long been times where one generation blames culture that's coming along for the decline in moral values or whatever it might be in the next generation. So one of the biggest areas of converging is the melding of television and the personal computer or the mobile device. It's so interactive on your telephone. There's almost nothing you can't see out there on your cell phone and use. Now, finally, just looking back and moving forward, it does talk about the fact that mass communication, as we have known it, is fundamentally changing, and it is not going to change. We see transformation taking place on a technological, economic, and social cultural levels as these things continue to converge and become more united with one company or cultures that are similar. They've done studies of other cultures where they see that when cultures brought into that society, it changes the way people are in that society. And we can talk about that maybe in a group meeting in the future. But that is the end of chapter 1, Converging Media, and I will post this as quickly as I can.